Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. Well, this game is actually taken from a ranked game. It was getting close to the end of this season, and I was like, let's just play a couple of these games for fun, see what happens, see what kind of craziness matchmaking will do with someone who hasn't played any ranked games for the entire split, and is now queuing up for some of them, with basically 1 week to go at the end of the split. Anyway, here at the start, we have our standard portal, and someone starts spam pinging, so I'm just going to mute everybody, which is what I do as soon as anyone starts making any noise in these games. I really did not want us to get that stupid Jace's Workshop, which makes all the augments prismatic. I was just hoping for anything else, and it turns out that we're going to get this one, the Rupture, which just gives you a completely random portal. So the first thing I have to do is check out, well, what is the portal? And it turns out it is the Dreaming Pool. At the start of each stage, get a champion that fits your team. So you're going to get some kind of a tailored champion to fit your team at the start of each one. I don't love this one, but I like it a lot better than all the augments being prismatic. I always think that that one's pretty dumb because it just means that the augments end up being more important than what you're actually doing with your team half the time, and it's just pretty silly. Anyway, all right, so ranked game here, you do get kind of weird matchmaking if you have not played any ranked games up until the end of the season. By the way, look at this. I definitely have an Ionia Challenger opener here. I've got 2 Challengers, double Aurelias, a set, double Samiras. So it looks like it's going to be Challengers plus Ionia for this game. As I said, though, matchmaking is pretty weird when you haven't played any ranked games the whole set. So you get a mixture of some people who are like queuing up for ranked for the first time like this, like I am actually doing here. So some newer players, definitely, I've done a couple of these games. Definitely the players are not quite as strong as in some of the other games that I've done. But you also get a lot of Smurf accounts, and that actually is what I end up seeing the most in these games. Is there's a lot of people that are just playing on their Smurf accounts, whereas like their main account is, I don't know, Diamond or Master, so they get bored with climbing, so they just create a new account and just use it for basically for fun at the end of the split. And you can usually tell because they're accounts that have played like no ranked games, but they build boards that are quite strong. All right, anyway, so as far as the legend for this game, I have gone ahead and switched over to Earth. That seems to be the most popular one right now, and this is partly due to the fact that a lot of the other legends have gotten nerfed over the course of the set. But the biggest thing really is the Tome of Traits. It ended up getting buffed, and at the same time that a lot of the other augments that come with the legends ended up getting nerfed. The biggest thing is they added the 3 gold to it. The Tome of Traits it used to be just you get a Tome of Traits, but now you get a Tome of Traits and 3 gold. And that's actually pretty significant. To get the 3 extra gold, that actually does accelerate your economy to a pretty noticeable degree. So just the fact that so many of the other options got nerfed. So for example, I've run Vlad for a lot of this particular set. I just like the Vlad augments, but they've been nerfed and nerfed repeatedly over the course of this set 9. So yeah, that's why I switched over to this one. And honestly, if you're just kind of playing for fun, it's both a strong option and it's also something that's just entertaining to have. It's like, let's just pull a Tome of Traits and see what the heck we get. And then based on what emblem you get, you just kind of build your team around what you get. It's just kind of a fun way to play the game too, honestly, because there's a lot of variability from game to game depending on what you're playing. Of course, you have to know what you're doing because different emblems play into different team comps. You can't just like force something over and over and over again. I mean, I guess you can, but it's a lot less effective if you're pulling from the Tome of Traits. And I'm actually not going to pull from the Tome of Traits at all here in the early game. I want to get more traits on the board. I think a lot of people know this by now, but the Tome of Traits, some of the emblems will be tailored to your board, and it's based on how many traits are over there on the left-hand side. I believe that when you get 6 traits in, one of the 6 will be tailored. And then I think if you get 8 traits in, 2 of the Tome of Traits things will be tailored. So like right now, I only have 5 traits, so it would just be completely random. Like what I would pull would be utterly random from the Tome of Traits. But if I can get a 6th trait in, one of those 6 will be one of the ones that gets pulled. And if I can get up to 8 traits, 2 of them will be ones that are pulled. So for this game, I would like to get either Challenger or Ionia would probably be the best options. So I'm hoping that I can hit one of those. But as I said, let's get up to ideally 8 traits, and then wait until then to pull it. So I basically am playing down an augment right now, but as I said, I did get the 3 extra gold, so that actually is helping a fair bit here. In terms of overall board strength, my board is pretty good here. I hit the 2-star Aurelia, I hit the 2-star Samira, and then I hit 2 out of 3 Warwicks, and the Portal, the Dreaming Pool, ended up giving me an extra Warwick as well, so that made 2-star Warwick. So pretty good setup here. We've got 3 challengers. We're actually at 2 out of 3 Ionia, so that's a little bit off. I would definitely like to get another Ionia in here so I can start activating the Enlightened bonus. In particular, it would be good on Aurelia, or I'd like to get another challenger so I can get up to 4 challenger. So there's a Jhin in the shop. I'm just going to pick that up. That will be able to activate Ionia trait. And Jhin will not be a key unit. He'll just be in there as a trait bot, but that's fine. Now, here's an interesting round here. This person's already level 5. And they are running, what is it, Patient Study. This is the Aurelian Soul Legend. It's the gold augment for that, where you get extra XP, and you get additional XP on a loss. So, yeah, they're actually ahead 4 units to 5, or 5 units to 4. But I'm still able to win them anyway. Somehow they have lost every round despite being level 5, which is kind of weird. They're also on 20 gold, which is kind of awkward. But anyway, I'm able to open up with a win streak, get the initial 3 wins, and be off to a good start, which is what you would expect because my board has a lot of 2 stars. This is definitely a strong early board, and it's a board that you would be expecting to win streak on. All right, so I'm playing Challengers and Ionia here. So with this board, what you'd be looking for are bows and swords for the most part. Those are not available. Next up, I'd want to take a frontline item because if I could get a frontline item, maybe I could make something with the cloak that's on Aurelia, but that is also not an option. So out of all these different things I could potentially pick up, I just am like, I guess I'll pick up the glove. It could always be Hand of Justice. That's a nicely flexible item. Not the strongest one, but it's at least somewhat flexible. Then I was trying to decide, should I go ahead and actually I go ahead and use this because I really don't have any other way to use the tier, and I don't want to have a whole bunch of item components sitting on my bench. So as I said, I think that's the best I could do. Why do I put it on Jhin? Because Jin's going to be sold. He's going to come out of this comp. The Samira may actually stay in the comp if I end up playing 6 challengers, which is a real possibility. So because of that, I was like, I think I keep the Samira on the board because I very well might end up playing this unit long term. So I will take the Hand of Justice and put it on Jhin. Even though he's mostly in here as a trait bot, it will give him a little extra damage and some healing. Anyway, that round was pretty easy, able to win that round. And yeah, looking good so far. There's one other person who's on full win streak, so I'm kind of hoping I will not hit that player. And then there's also a Zed here, so I was like, all right, well, I'll pick this up. Zed could be useful as well. Zed will give me the option to get another trait in. Was it I have 6 total traits on the board right now? Zed will add 3 traits. He would also make Ionia, but also put, Slayer and Noxus on the board over there. So I'm hoping to pull the Tome of Traits, as I said. If I can get up to 8 traits is when I'd like to pull the Tome of Traits. And I'm hoping I can hit either Ionia or Challenger for the extra one. Plus, one nice thing is both Challenger and Ionia are makeable with emblems. So you can potentially get more of either if you would happen to get spatulas. All right, so this person's also level 5. They also have a pretty solid board here. I was actually hoping I would not hit this person because I thought they actually had the strongest board. They're playing a Void Opener here. Now, there's one piece of good news. Their front line is very tanky, but they don't actually have much in the way of damage. If you look here, they don't really have a true damage dealer. I guess they have the Callista. By the way, I would like a Callista. That would be nice to have. But the Callista does not have a Rageblade. She just has a bow. And so I'm actually able to win that round as well and extend the win streak all the way through up to the end of the stage. That's actually really nice. And the other person who was on a win streak ended up losing. So that's great. I actually think the person I beat in that last round was stronger than the person who'd been on a win streak. I think they just hadn't hit anyone strong. So yeah, I'm counting up. There's 7 traits there. And so I'm just going to look to play the Zed when right before I play pull the Tome of Traits. Zed and Jhin are probably pretty comparable in terms of their damage. I think it's better to have Jhin on the board because he's less likely to run up into the front lines and get himself killed. All right, so what do we have here? We're going to get a belt. Again, this is not a bow or a sword, so it's not quite the item I'm looking for here. And I'm going to get another belt. It's like, okay, well, I mean, Wormogs is not that bad, actually. We'll hope for the front line. And there we go. There's a bow. So that is perfect. I will kill the rod on a Rageblade. And look, there's Callista here. And I actually get another Callista here as well. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. Know what we're going to do. We're on full win streak, so I'm going to level here. That'll take me up to 4 Challenger. We're going to put the Rageblade on Callista. Then I'm going to move the Hand of Justice over to Callista as well, and she will be my carry for the immediate future. I might move these items to another champion later, but for right now, Callista will be my carry. And there we go. We'll go ahead and put her in. Look at the total traits on the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 8 traits in. So 2 of those 8 traits should pop up in the Tome of Traits. And I'll also pick up this Viego because he would give me both Rogue trait and Shadow Isles trait in play. A little unfortunate that I get Zephyred here. This is actually just dumb luck. This person rolled a Zephyr on a Thief's Glove. I'm pretty sure they were not deliberately targeting the Callista. But now that she's got the Rageblade, yeah, it would be nice if she had been there from the start of the fight, but it looks like I'm still going to win this anyway without too much difficulty and keep the win streak going, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, you can see my past self counting up the traits, and we're going to have an augment here, and now I'll be able to pull the Tome of Traits, and we'll go ahead and see what we can get here. All right, so what's our augment going to be? And let's see, You Have My Bow is actually really good. That would be great, but I do just want to check what the other options are, and oh, a Challenger Crest. Is that better? I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. It'll make it much easier to hit 6 Challengers. And then, no Ionia, no Challenger. A little bit unlucky. That would have been very nice. If I had had Challenger as an option there, that would have been very nice. I could have played 6 Challengers right now. And then I could have easily gone up to 8 Challengers later in the game. 8 Challengers would... Normally you don't want to play 8 Challengers. It's a little too much attack speed. Excuse me, but with double emblems, it's actually worth running it. So I take the next best thing. I take the Shadow Isles emblem instead. I'm going to put it on Aurelia, and it's going to make her super tanky. I've done a couple other videos for Shadow Isles. Generally speaking, if you get a Shadow Isles emblem, the best thing you can do is slap it on the best tank you have, because it's going to give a big shield when they take, what is it, it's after 8 instances of damage, I think they get the shield. And we actually have really good synergy here with the Warmogs, because Shadow Isles gives you a percentage of max HP shield. I think Shadow Isles 2 is a 40% shield, so getting the Warmogs is really nice in that respect. By the way, this is a very tanky frontline right here. This person's hit 3-star Kale. Unfortunately, Callista decided to ignore Kale until the last second, so I'm going to lose my win streak here, aren't I? Yep. Now, they managed to hit 3-star Kale. They're also level 5 max gold, so I think they were just pretty lucky. They are not running the reroll augments. Like, that is someone who is playing Kale, but is not doing it the same way as Antisocial Monkey typically runs Kale. Like, they're not running Lee Sin as their legend. They're not running Trade Sector. They're not running any of the stuff that would give you extra Kales. So I think they just got really lucky at hitting Kales to hit Kale so quickly and not even have to roll down. I mean, like I said, they're level 5, 50 gold. So they hit 3-star Kale without really having to roll much at all and without using any reroll augments. So they're definitely high rolling. I think I'm having pretty good luck in this game as well in terms of what I'm hitting, but I think that they maybe got a little bit luckier. So that board's going to be a problem. Clearly, if they already hit 3-star Kale this quickly, they're going to be able to go push levels, and they'll probably be able to get up to level, I don't know, level 8, level 9. They get to level 9 with Kale 3-star. That's going to be a bit problematic. Now, this is another close fight, but fortunately their Zeri pauses to cast her ability, and that gives Callista time to finish them off. So I just got that 1 loss on my record. Would have been really nice to win that round, and I could have won that round as well. It's just Callista focused the wrong target at the end of that fight. But because I've won so many rounds, it does mean I'm going to be last pick here, and I'm going to have to take something off. The good news is there's quite a few bows here, so I would love to get another bow. If you're playing challengers and you can get bows, that's kind of always something you'd like to get. But one of the bows is going to stick around, so I was like, all right, definitely take this. It's on a 3 gold Tarek, so we'll grab this, and we'll make some other item for Callista. Number of good options there. Let's see, we've got the Rageblade. It could be probably Giant Slayer is the best thing I could do with that, but that's certainly not bad. For now, I'm just going to continue holding on here. I'm pretty close to level 7, but I can afford to wait until the end of this stage, in part because I'm 95 health, so I don't feel a lot of pressure to sacrifice Econ to get stronger here. The goal will be, let's go to level 7 at the end of this stage, and in level 7 we need to hit 1 more challenger. It could be Yasuo, it could be Kaisa, either one would be fine. But I definitely need to hit one of the two because that'll get me up to 6 challenger. If I can hit both, then we can take out Samira and just play Yasuo plus Kaisa. And so clearly I'm going to run one of these, like I said, Ionia plus Challenger boards. And then kind of the unique thing is we've got this Shadow Owl's emblem, which is very unusual. But, you got to play around what you hit. By the way, look at Callista surviving on no HP. That's pretty nice. I think we would have won this fight anyway. Aurelia is a really good tank right now, and Aurelia just becomes Shen later on down the road. So I'm quite happy to make that replacement. And we'll be able to, just adjust from there. Still have one more augment to go to. All right, there's Zed 2-star, so great. Zed's holding the Challenger emblem because he's going to come out of the comp later. I don't know who this Challenger is going to be, but we'll find somebody. I did have the thought that since I'm playing Warwick here, maybe I could run Zeri with the Challenger emblem because that would give me a Zaun item, and that would probably be pretty good. Then I look at this person, I'm like, wait, what? You have a 2-star Wait, what? You have a 2-star Yasuo? You have a Freljord emblem? How are you level 7, 50 gold with a 2-star Yasuo? What kind of ridiculous high roll is this? So yeah, that person, Jason AFK, somehow is level 7, 50 gold with a 2-star Yasuo. I was like, okay. So I guess that's 3 Yasuos out of the pool. That's not good news for me. I don't love seeing that, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll just have to make do. Most of these other boards do not seem this strong. Again, like I said, you can definitely see that these boards are not as high quality as what I'm used to seeing in some of my other games, except maybe this Kale board, which, again, I think they were very lucky to hit Kale so quickly, despite... I mean, they're running Rich Get Richer, which is not what you take if you're trying to reroll Kale. Definitely don't run Rich Get Richer if you're trying to reroll Kale. That augment makes no sense, but they just apparently hit it anyway. Anyway, so as I was saying, I'm kind of used to playing against some very tough lobbies. There are double-up lobbies that we did a lot of. Most of the players in those double-up lobbies are in either Diamond or Master at this point. Also, the Friday morning games that we do with our group games, so used to playing against Antisocial Monkey and JDPL Grillo and Headwinder, and it's a little bit like being in the 100 times gravity chamber and then coming back and playing this. By the way, I'm up to 7 Warwicks. So I actually have a pretty good chance for Warwick 3-star. And then he also pops out of the Dreaming Pool, so that just gets me up to 6 Challenger. And then I was like, oh, there's a Gwen here. A Gwen at 1% odds. I was like, okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that. By the way, I also go past a couple of Gwens here. So I actually make a mistake. I should have been picking up these Gwens. And then with Gwen, I could put Gwen in on level 8, and then that would give me 4 Shadow Owls. But I didn't realize that I actually went past like 2 Gwens there. So, yeah, okay. I think our board got a lot stronger. So we're going to run Challenger Senna here. And that feels very good indeed. So this is the Shadow Isles. This is just me making use of the whole Shadow Isles setup. I've got the Shadow Isles emblem. I hit the 1% odds Senna, which is a major high roll. So we're going to play into that. And now the plan is 6 Challenger, 4 Shadow Isles with, as I said, Gwen as the additional unit in there. So definitely playing around this, adjusting this. Let's see, out of these options, Juggernaut Crest, no, that's not going to do anything. 2 Juggernaut is fine right now. We'll just take the final grab bag. Again, this is really nice because it gives you the 12 gold and 2 components. This is quite nice. So I'll go ahead and make a Dragon's Claw here. I have the items for a Redemption, so I'll go ahead and do that. Redemption is quite nice in these fights. I don't know if Warwick is necessarily the right person to use this, but again, Redemption is really nice to put on like your off tank. And if I can 3-star Warwick, I think he can actually tank for quite a while. So now I'm content to go to level 8. And then on level 8, as I said, we're going to grab Gwen and look to put her in the board as well. I'd also really like to find a 2-star Callista. I've got 2 out of 3 Callistas, but I would love to hit one more for the 2-star. Her items are quite good. Hand of Justice, Rageblade, Giant Slayer, just about as good as you can get. I would say the one thing that's missing here is either an Infinity Edge or a Jeweled Gauntlet so that her true damage can crit. That's like the one thing that's missing. All right. By the way, we cycled back to the Kale board again. Warwick is actually mispositioned here. He should be standing next to Aurelia so that he can, that Redemption can heal the unit. The big thing that's changed, though, is now I have Senna providing those humongous shields for the whole team. By the way, Kale is almost dead. Can we finish off this Kale, please? Please, there we go. All right. So we do manage to finish off the Kale. Thank goodness. Does not have double Rageblade, has Rageblade, Giant Slayer, and then is rolling a Radiant item. All right, there we go. There's a 2-star Callista. That's nice. So now I'm on, what is it? I'm almost level 8. I can probably wait here. I was on the big win streak, so I was considering, do I go to level 8 here? It drops me down to 30 gold. Not leveling here is actually a fairly greedy play. but I think I hold off just because I am on 95 health and I can afford to trade some health for econ if I need to. All right, so yeah, we've got all these different options here, and it's a little bit unfortunate I lost that one round to Kale, or else I'd be on a 12-match winning streak, but at least I did manage to get back out to a 5-match win streak again. All right, this is a Void player. Unfortunately, this person does have a Kaisa, so they're taking one Kaisa out of the pool. That's, like I said, a little bit unfortunate. The big thing is, can we just cut through that Rift Herald? There's a lot of frontline here. The Rift Herald, also the Cho, who has a Warmogs and double Gargoyles, but not a lot of damage on this board, and so eventually we're able to cut through, win this round, and get the win streak to continue. So feeling pretty good here. Definitely liking my situation. I think I'm in great shape for a top 4 at the bare minimum, and then we'll see what else we can do from that. By the way, Warwick still needs to be shifted over a little bit here. Somebody's already out of the lobby too, so I don't know what they were doing, but didn't go well, whatever the heck they were doing. All right, so I actually am pretty content with tank items. I would not mind taking more offensive items here just because I do have more units to carry. I want to start itemizing this center right now, and there's a bow here on this Azir, so can I get that? Not possible. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take the glove yet again out of these options. As I said, I don't think I need more frontline. I think these items are quite good. They are, of course, going to be shifted over to Shen later on once I have 2-star Shen, so we'll look to make that replacement down the road. All right, let's go level 8 and see what we can hit here. There's another Callista. Go ahead and pick that up. Another Callista. Okay, that's 5 Callistas. There's a Kaisa, so that's going to replace somebody. We can replace the Samira. And then, yeah, I'm not going to need Samira. I actually probably should have held her just in case I get a Challenger emblem. Then I could play 8 Challengers with her. There's another Kaisa. Still rolling here. And, oh, wow, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 Callistas again. So that's just up to 7 Callistas really fast right there. I also find an Ahri, so I was like, is there a way I play Ahri on this board? Obviously, she's a 5-cost Ionia unit, so that would be pretty nice. But I was thinking about this, and I was like, you know, if I want to play into Shadow Isles, I can't run like 6 Ionia if I'm going to play into 4 Shadow Isles. And I think playing 4 Shadow Isles is the better play here because I have the Shadow Isles emblem and because I hit this early Senna over there. So, by the way, this fight's very close, but it looks like we don't have quite enough to beat this player. This person's playing an Invoker's board, so I think I end up dropping the Ahri. And then, by the way, I hit 2-star Kaisa, so I was like, all right, well, I'll move my Callista items over to Kaisa. These are very good Kaisa items as well. Rageblade, Giant Slayer, plus Hand of Justice. So I go ahead and make that replacement, and then I'm still rolling here. I should probably stop rolling a little bit, but then I hit 8 Callistas, and by the way, there's the Gwen, so now I need to get Gwen on my board. So somebody's going to have to come out here. I was trying to realize, I was like, which unit comes out? It's actually Set is the unit that comes out, even though it's going to cost me a little frontline. Once I have Shen up there to replace Aurelia, that will be okay. But yeah, it's actually going to have to end up being the Set that comes out, which is a little bit of a shame because he is giving Warwick the Juggernaut trait, but I just have better units I want to play. And if I can get a Shen with these items that Aurelia is holding right now, that should be plenty. By the way, here is a fight where you actually see what Warwick is supposed to be doing with his redemption. He's actually providing a lot of healing for the front line. And I do get enough gold for the Gwen here. So I'm definitely transitioning my board. I'm in the process of switching over to some higher tier units. But I think I've got most of what I want here. And by the way, Kale is going to win another round. Knock the player, down to 1 HP. That Invoker board is the one I lost to. They're now on 1 hit point, but they're actually pretty strong. They're actually close to a lot of 3 stars. So let's see, I believe that this is where I look to take the Set out, and I'm also getting ready to do the replacement. Yeah, I have 2 out of 3 Shen, so I'm just going to do the replacement right now while I have a minion round. Hopefully I can hit 1 more Shen. Even if not, Shen 1 star is probably about comparable to the Aurelia 2-star, probably. So here we go, 6 Challenger, 4 Shadow Isles, and still having Ionia in, so that we can activate the Enlighten bonus on, mostly on Shen, but I guess I can get it on some other units too. And then, oh, look at these items. This is what I want. Swords and bows. Swords and bows. That's what you're looking for. All right, and then there's a Senna in my shop, and then a Senna pops out of the Dreaming Pool. What? Okay, that's a high roll. And look at the items I can get here. More fantastic items. So it's like, all right, we're going to put Rageblade on you, and we'll put Infinity Edge on you. Oh my goodness. This is what we're looking for now. So I have a very well itemized Kaisa and a very well itemized Senna. as well. Challenger Senna with IE plus Rageblade. Now what I need to do is I need to itemize the Callista, who is on 8 out of 9 Callistas, and I took her items off to put on Kaisa. Probably should have waited to see if I could hit the 3-star before I did that. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be pretty good. Look at Senna. She's just going to keep firing off these humongous blasts every couple of seconds. She's going to have so much attack speed. She should be able to get off shield after shield after shield after shield. Having a 2-star Senna this early is really ridiculous. Of course, obviously I hit the one at 1% odds, and then I hit another one at 4%. And then plus I got the Dreaming Pool. Yeah, I was highlighting the shielding right there. I was curious how much shielding. Look at that, 7,000 shielding on that unit. That's pretty nutty. All right, so I'm going to pick up the Yasuo. And now the only thing I really need to find is I want to find that one more Callista and maybe one more, and then ideally 2 more Warwicks as well. By the way, that Invoker's board is sitting on just hit 3-star Taric, so that board's going to be annoying. And I believe they just hit 3-star Karma as well. No, 2-star Karma, so I guess they haven't... No, they did hit 3-star Karma. Okay, so they just hit 3-star Taric and 3-star Karma. Anytime that you see that, you're like, really? 1 HP? That, like, they couldn't have gotten knocked out of the lobby before they hit those units? Really? But yeah, as it turns out, they did in fact hit those units. Anyway, we're back to the Kale board again, and it looks like this person is just trying to get up to a higher level, so Kale will accelerate up to all of her additional bonuses at level 9. So yeah, the goal is just can Shen tank long enough for us to kill this Kale, and it looks like they can. So there we go. Gonna go ahead and take that. This person does have the Demacia augment Petrocyte Shackles, as you're gonna see the Invoker board beat somebody. Jason AFK, interesting name. So yeah, with the lobby starting to constrict here, starting to get down to fewer players, and there's the 3-star Callista. So at this point I was like, you know, I kind of wish I had kept those items on Callista instead of Kaisa. So now I'm going to need to itemize the now I'm going to need to look to itemize this Callista as well, because I stole all of our items to put on Kaisa. Anyway, 2-star Senna, 2-star Kaisa, 2-star or 3-star Callista, and then I have a 2-star Yasuo as well. But Yasuo is basically in there as a trait bot right now. I just only have so many items, and out of all these items, I clearly want to itemize the Callista, the 3-star Callista, as my next unit that I'm going after. All right, this looks like a Shurima board. This is the first adjacent AFK. It looks like they just tried to get to 9 very quickly and then put a board together. I don't think that what they have is that bad. They mostly have this super duper tanky Nasus. That said, their Azir does not look especially strong. It has a Rageblade, but blue buff on Azir, that's definitely not what you want. The big question is just, can we ever get through the Nasus? Well, the good news is Senna is continuing to put these huge shields on. Kaisa's dashing around, shooting people in the back lines, and clearly at some point the Nasus will die. So we're going to be able to win that round, and they go down to 3 HP in the lobby. And the Invoker's player got knocked out. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, they had 3-star Karma, and they had 3-star Taric, so they were looking pretty strong. I'm glad they're out of the lobby. So what do I get to take off of Carousel here? Well, guess what? There's a Rageblade on Carousel. So, hey, remember how I took that Rageblade off Callista and put it on Kaisa? Yeah, I got another Rageblade. In fact, I have 3 Rageblades, so this is definitely the Rageblade game. And that's how I decided to think of this one, is this is the Rageblade game. Rageblade Kaisa, Rageblade Callista, Rageblade Challenger Senna. Alrighty, so yeah, now we're just going to look to go to level 9. And at level 9, we'll just find some other unit that we can play on the board. There's no point in rolling further here. I've 2-starred everything except Gwen. And Gwen is honestly in here as just a trait bot. I have so many units to itemize, I can't get more items on Gwen. So she's just going to be in there as a trait bot. If I could get a Thief's Glove, I would love to put it on Yasuo, something like that. But I already have, I have all these backline carries, and I'm just continuing to try to itemize them as best I can. All right, this person's playing 6 on, and they have a 2-star Scion, which is pretty scary. The good news for me, the Scion, by the way, has the Chemtech mod that explodes on death. But the good news is I have these massive shields, so... yeah, even though the explosion does a lot of damage, it's actually not enough to get through Senna's shield. Plus, Callista was over on the other side and was totally safe. So the lobby continues to constrict. There's just 3 of us left here in this lobby. And I believe I'm going to be up against the same player again 2 rounds in a row. Yeah, I'm looking here at Gunners. I was trying to figure out what my next unit should be in this board. And, like, Rise would not be a bad option. Rise would give me Invoker trait. The other thing I was thinking about is like, if I got Zeri, I had originally thought of Zeri as maybe she'd get the Challenger emblem. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen because Senna's going to use it. But Zeri would give me Gunner trait for Senna, and would also give me a Zaun item because that would make Zaun with Warwick. So that would seem like a pretty good option as well. Now, this person is what they're playing through Zeri. I think they have 4 Zeris, so it would be a little bit trickier to hit. But I mean, I still have pretty good odds to hit at level 9 to be able to find a Zeri and put it on this board. If I could get a strong item and put it on her, then I could have another source of damage. So, we'll see. I mean, if I see like 3 Heimerdingers, I'd be happy to play that on level up as well. Just going to depend on what we hit. Alrighty, so I have not seen the Kale board in a little while, and unfortunately that has given the Kale board time to go to level 9. So now they're level 9, and they also have 3-star Garen as well. They've built the board noticeably different than what Antisocial Monkey does when he rerolls Kale. Antisocial Monkey generally plays the Kale with Yordle trait, with Poppy as the main tank, and then looks to play through the Slayer trait, likes to go up to like 4 or 5 Slayer in the late game, while running Poppy as the main tank. This person has done something completely different. They're running Vertical Demacia. They're on 7 Demacia, and they make Garen 3-star as well, which is pretty interesting. By the way, there's a Zeri, so I'll hold on to that, and there's another Gwen. So let's pull the Tomo traits. What do we have? There actually is a Thief's Glove here, but out of these options, I was like, I'd love the Thief's Glove for Yasuo, but I think Giant Slayer is actually better here. Because this is a 3-star 6 Challenger Callista. I just want to keep itemizing her. That Demacia team has a lot of high health targets. In particular, the Garen is a 3-star. So I think Giant Slayer is actually really good here because he gets that extra damage bonus against high health targets. Then they hit 2-star Aatrox as well. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? Now I'm going to hit the Kale board. Let's see how I manage up against this. Now this is a ghost round, so remember, ghost rounds are very buggy. Unfortunately, Warwick dies super fast. I'm really hoping I can find another Warwick, excuse me, so I can get up to 3-star Warwick. I would use the Champion Duplicator on Warwick to hit 3-star Warwick. Unless I can use it on a 5 cost, that's also a possibility. So anyway, I win this round. It's not that bad, but it is a ghost round, and now it's down to just me and the Kale player in the lobby. So it's just the 2 of us left here. So I'm going to continue trying to go to level 9, continue to be patient. By the way, this person is sitting on they're on 5 Jarvan. So I was like, all right, you're trying to go for 3-star Jarvan. I'm just gonna take the Jarvan out of the pool. I'll make it slightly harder for you to hit 3-star Jarvan. Let's not have that happening. But yeah, 2-star Aatrox, 2-star 2-star Jarvan, 3-star Garen. I don't know about Garen's items. I guess they're decent, but they're not amazing. And yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. I mean, the whole thing in these fights is always, can I manage to get on the Kale or not? But yeah, this team's pretty strong, I have to say. Anytime Kale gets up to level 9, it's not great. You don't want 3-star Kale to get up to level 9. So as I said, I think this person's been a little bit lucky in the sense that they were able to roll for 3-star Kale and roll for 3-star Garen, and then also get to level 9. I mean, that's not something that would normally happen. And yeah, I actually get bowled over pretty easily there. So I was like, oh, that wasn't even remotely close. Have I just given this person too much time to scale up, unfortunately? Maybe this person's just gotten too strong. I have to kind of hope that they hit items that aren't so great. At least one good thing is the Rich Get Richer augment is not going to do anything. So they do have 1 non-combat augment. The bad news is Petricite Shackles is one of the best Demacia emblem. If you're running Vertical Demacia, it's just about the best augment you can get. Let me go ahead and I'll read the description of that. For those who are curious, I know I've mentioned it a couple times. Petricite Shackles. Your Demacians deal 15% more damage. Increase to 22% against Noxians and enemies with 100 or more maximum mana. So it's just like a straight 15 to 20% damage buff for the entire team. That's pretty good when you're running Demacia in like every single slot over there. Anyway, this fight's a little bit closer, but still not enough there, to be clear. And so I take a couple losses and lose some additional health. So I was like, oh man, this is not looking so great. Not looking so great here. That said, I look here on the carousel, I was like, oh, there's a Gunner emblem. Yeah, let's grab that. Let's grab this Gunner emblem so we can give Senna the Gunner trait. That actually feels pretty good. And who do I put this on? I was like, well, out of all the options here, by the way, we'll make 2-star Gwen. We'll go ahead and put it on Callista. I don't know that this does that much for her, but I mean, it can't be that bad, right? And then we'll put in Zeri, because why not? The mod, Chemtech mod, is Virulent Bioware, which is actually not bad because we're basically running Zeri as a support unit. Now, this is not great if Zeri is going to be a carry unit, but it is good if she's going to be a support unit. And by the way, then I hit 2-star each, so I was like, oh, I was going to use my champion duplicator on Zeri, but I don't need to use it now. Okay. Well, that works. We got 2-star Zeri. We actually have 3 Gunner in, which is a little bbit awkward, but I don't think that this is terrible. This means that it's going to stack up additional AD on Senna, additional AD on Zeri, and additional AD on Kaisa, or on Callista. Now, I don't know that it does that much on Callista, but it's going to do a lot on Senna to stack up the full Gunner bonus. Oh, this is really close. Can we get the Kale? There we go. Kale goes down. All right. And yeah, it looks like the Gunner emblem and having the Zeri with the Virulent Bioware is going to make the difference here. So I'm actually looking just for Warwick right now as the unit I'm really looking for, strangely enough, just because Warwick will give me, if I can find one more Warwick, it'll be 3-star Warwick. Heimer's tempting, but I don't think I would take out any of these units. The Zeri did actually seem to be helping, so keep rolling here. I mean, Rise is also interesting, but I'm actually pretty happy with the Zeri. Now, I know I have the Gunner emblem, so I could take out Zeri and still have 2 Gunner in, but I actually don't think it's that bad having additional damage, and the Virulent Bioware is actually pretty helpful here. All right, so we got another round there. I did win the last one. Can we win again? The question, as always, is how quickly can we get through the back line and get onto the Kale, because Kale is the big damage dealer here. The Garen I'm actually not that worried about. Garen is more just tanky. All right, so frontline, Shen's dead. Now, can we just get onto the Kale? This fight actually wasn't as close. Can we knock them out? 5 HP. 5 HP. All right. Got to win one more round here. By the way, they're on 7 Jarvans, so I'm very glad I pulled a Jarvan out of the pool. There's 12 total 4-cost units, so they have 7, I have 1. That means there's 4 more Jarvans. I will definitely take Jarvans out of the pool if I can get them. All right, now in terms of the, I've been talking about the Virulent Bioware, so let me just read what that one does. Here it is. As I said, this is basically a support one. Releases a Virulent Plague whenever you deal ability damage. Causes enemies within 1 hex of the target to take 20% more damage for 4 seconds. So this is really good at cutting through that frontline tanks. By the way, I'm going to get another Senna here. I was like, okay, I can't really use this. And I'm just hoping that they're not going to hit Jarvans. So I really don't want to see Jarvan 3-star. All right, continuing to look through here. By the way, a lot of Kaisas. And I was like, you know, if I had known this game was going to go on this long, I would have grabbed those Kaisas. Maybe I could have made Kaisa 3-star, but it's a little late for that. And, not going to get that last Warwick. I just needed one more. All right, so one of these options here, I was like, I guess I'll take Edge of Night and put on Zeri, but I think this is a mistake. I think I should have taken the Warmogs and put it on Gwen, because that would have, like, doubled her health. And then she'd just get a big shield, so she'd be able to tank for longer. So anyway, I put this item on Senna or on Zeri, but I don't think she's that important. As I said, I think Warmogs for Gwen would have been a better choice here. So this fight's not looking so great, but Kaisa dashes over to the right and gets on Kale. That's what we need. It actually looked like I was about to get bowled over, but Kaisa dashing out of danger is going to get over there to the right-hand side, and that's enough to take down Kale. Once Kale's done, that's pretty much it, because Kale is like 80% of the damage on that team. And so it's going to be a first with this new ending screen that's like kind of buggy. So anyway, that was the Rageblade game. As I said, a very fun game. Just I was definitely hitting pretty hard in that game, particularly the Senna, getting 2-star Senna that early on and being able to slap a challenger emblem. But I do think there was some creativity in playing around the emblems that I hit and switching into 4 Shadow Isles, which is not something you typically do with challengers. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. Until next time, folks, have a great week and take care.